Welcome back to 60 Plus, a series where I take a deeper look at games that I've continued playing beyond 1 hour. Just as a heads up, this video is going to be a bit different than any of my others, as it's going to cover some pretty personal topics. But with that out of the way, let's get going. Stardew Valley is a game that I've spent countless hours in, and my wife has spent even more. It's simple in its design, and it's easy to lose track of time while completing either the simplest of goals or the most ambitious undertakings. I've played it for hours upon hours, yet over the last few weeks, I've been glued to it, nearly as much as I was for my first playthrough. In fact, the first time I played it, I obsessed over it. The fact that it only saves when you go to sleep at the end of the day is nothing short of genius, and perhaps the largest reason why I couldn't put it down. I found myself in a constant loop, where I'd eagerly head out in the morning to see what was new on my farm, before getting suckered into either harvesting or watering everything, since I was already standing there. The rest of the day would play out and I'd go to sleep, intending to save and walk away. But the draw of seeing the progress on my farm meant that I constantly would head back outdoors just for a sneak peek of what was new, and the whole cycle would start again. I said in my original impressions video that I may have stayed up until 4 AM accidentally on more than one occasion, and this was true for not only me, but also my non-gamer wife when she first played. During my first playthrough, the first year had me gripped, and it only loosened slightly as I continued racing through my first 3, with the knowledge that something new would happen at the end. But like many other players, all of a sudden, once I had no goal left to accomplish, I was released from its grip, and it became incredibly easy to just walk away. But those fond memories, fleeting as they were exactly what I ended up needing these past few weeks. You may have noticed that I haven't been updating as much recently, and it all comes down to the fact that I haven't been in an emotional state which would allow me to be objective. I've sat down and tried playing a number of new games, yet every game I tried, I found myself bouncing off quickly. It's possible that none of these games would have ever appealed to me, but I can't be confident that that's the only reason. And the long and the short of it is simply this. My wife and I just miscarried for the second time. We've been trying for kids for over 5 years at this point, and made it far enough along this time to hear our little one's heartbeat. It was a powerful moment for us, and it was the furthest we'd made it in our journey so far. Ultimately though, it made the eventual loss hit us that much harder. In any other year, we likely would have taken some time off and planned a getaway somewhere just to mentally detox and hit the reset button. But that isn't exactly an option these days. So, as a sort of therapy, my wife and I instead returned to Stardew Valley. We set ourselves what we felt was an ambitious goal, to earn over $1 million in the first year, and we dove in head first. It was just challenging enough, yet still felt achievable enough, that we got lost into the virtual world once again. Days slipped by, both in-game and in real life, as we worked towards our lofty goal. We weren't sure if we were going to achieve our goal, but that wasn't the point, and it still isn't. The point was to revisit something familiar, together. We needed stability, when nothing around us seemed certain. We're 20 hours in now, and are nearing the finish line of our objective. I'm amazed at how therapeutic it's been, to the point that we've already discussed what our next outlandish goal could be. There are identifiable problems that we can solve, and clear-cut goals that we can accomplish, which is huge when doctor after doctor says we're unlikely to ever get any answers. When next steps in life are uncertain, having something one can control is invaluable. Thematically, the game is about leaving behind one life and finding peace and tranquility in another. We didn't consider that when we sat down initially, but have come to really appreciate it since. I don't know how long it will be before I'm able to return to what I would call normal. I don't know when I'll get to the point where I'm able to create videos with complete regularity again. What I do know is that playing games that I love, with people that I love, can be incredibly healing and rewarding, and that is what I need right now. So please have patience with me, and thank you all so much for your incredible support.